This is an interesting example in which we find the measure of a reference angle using these two little arms. So I like this example. I found this one and I wanted to give it to you because it's helpful. First off, what is a reference angle? This will become important and we'll use it in various situations. A reference angle is the angle from, well, it's the positive angle. Let me write that whole word out to be more clear. It's the positive angle to the nearest x-axis. That's what a reference angle is. It's the positive angle to the nearest x-axis. Now, what are we talking about? Well, they want us, this is a great example, they want us to take the red arc and represent the angle 210 degrees. Now, let me compare for you to the unit circle. So here is a picture of the unit circle. I'll be sending you a copy of this, and you could look it up on the internet yourself and get maybe even a better unit circle. But this will be very helpful. The most important thing in this chapter is to have this unit circle in your notes. Okay, so as you look at this unit circle, where we're looking for, on this example, we're looking for, actually, I want to change the problem a little bit. We're looking for, let me change this right here to, I want to make it more interesting. Let's go 240 degrees. That'll be a more difficult problem. So 240. So let's find, where's 240 on the unit? So you'll have this in your notes, 240, 240 degrees right here. It's this line right there, 240 degrees. So you have this in your unit circle, so it'll make life easy. It's right there, right? So if you imagine these three dots over here in quadrant 3, it's the bottom one. Let's go to it now. Okay. So it's this one, isn't it? So there it is. So that's the first thing you do, is you're going to make the red handle go like this, all the way to there. The red arc, I should say. So that's an arc, right? That goes along the edge of the circle. So the red arc goes from here to here. And that's what they're saying. Drag the red arc to represent an angle of 240 degrees. That's an angle of 240. So this right here is representing the 240 degrees, that red arc. Then they want you to take the blue arc and drag it to represent the reference angle. Now, what's the reference angle going to be? Well, that's where we've got to be clear on this definition. What is a reference angle? It's the positive angle to the nearest x-axis. So, if you're sitting right here, if this is you, let me put a little person here. There we go. There you are. You're a little person right there at 240 degrees. Where is the nearest? That's an important word. X-axis. Well, the x-axis has two sides, doesn't it? There's the positive x-axis and the negative x-axis. There's 0 right in the middle, right? This is the y-axis that goes up and down, the negative y and the positive y. So there's two sides. There's the negative x-axis side or the positive x-axis side. And you're going to have to get there, along the edge of the circle. So I should have done that along the edge. So you're either going to go this way or you're going to go that way along the edge of the circle. Which one's nearest? Which side? The positive x side or the negative x side? Well, clearly the negative x side, right? This side over here is closer to where you're at when you're right there. Now, if you were over here, it'd be closer to the positive x-axis, but you're not. We're at 240 degrees, so we are closer to the negative side of the x-axis. So that's where we're going. So let me get rid of this part right here. So, okay, so we're going that way. So that's what we do. The blue arc is supposed to represent, it's the positive angle to the nearest x-axis. It goes from where you're at right to there. So there's going to be red and blue. There's going to be red there, and then the blue will just go from here to there. So that's how it's going to look. There won't be any more blue there. Get rid of that blue. You'll move, there's two arms to the blue piece. So one of them will be like this and the other will be like that. And there'll be two arms to the red piece. One of them will be like this and one of them will be like that. So this blue section is showing you the reference angle. What is it? It's how far to the nearest x-axis, right? It's the positive angle to the nearest x-axis. And how far is that, by the way? This is 180 degrees. If you look back on the unit circle, right? Halfway is 180, and we're at 240 right there. We're basically saying how far from there to there. That's my reference angle. So the reference angle is how far from here, well, it's how far from here to here. So how far is that? From 180 to 240? The reference angle is 240 minus 180 degrees. In other words, it's 60 degrees. That's what you'll put in the box there. 60 degrees is the reference angle. That's how far to the nearest x-axis. Now, what if you were, let me do another for instance. How about, and come down here. How about this one? This one says 135 degrees. So what if we go there first off? So 135 is right there. If you, again, go back to your unit circle, let me show you. Unit circle, you'll have a copy of this, 135 degrees. It's right in the middle of quadrant 2. For the 3 dots in quadrant 2, it's the one in the middle. So then, right in the middle there. So then we'll have a red arm that goes like this, and the red arc will go all the way to 135 degrees. Now, the blue arc is supposed to represent the reference angle. What is the reference angle again? It's the positive angle to the nearest x-axis. What do we mean by x-axis? Well, there's a positive x-axis here and a negative there. So if you're right here at 135 degrees, which side of the x-axis is nearest to you? Again, the negative, right? So it'd be right here. This is the reference angle. So you'll need to move one of the arms here, and the other arm will be right there beside the red, and not here anymore at all. And that'll be, this is your reference angle. It's how far from the nearest x-axis side, and this is 180, so the reference angle will be 180 minus 135, which will be 45 degrees. So 45 will be your reference angle in that case.